Yoann, is that just kind of a classic derby game going up against a rival that it works like that?
I don't know if it was a classic derby game, but no, it was a game with a lot of challenges for us tonight, where we came out like maybe a little bit flat in terms of like the energy and what we wanted to do. So yeah, like in the end, we're walking away with a point. That's probably the only thing we'll remember from tonight.
Yeah, I was going to ask. It looked like you guys were maybe a step slow, or was it? I know I'm sure you don't have an exact reason why, but does it apparently look that way to you too?
Yeah, it looked like we were a little bit fatigued. Decision making, movement, execution. I thought we lacked efficiency in those areas tonight. I think the ideas were there. I think the execution and decision making, when to attack, when to keep the ball, were not. So I thought we played into their hands a little bit. They wanted to force us to make mistakes. They wanted to expose us a little bit in transition, attack the space in behind, and I think they did a good job at that. And I think on our side we could have been a little better with execution and decision making.
Say, yet, and for all that, Sung Bin's shot is like 2 inches lower. You can come away with a win out of this one.
Yeah, those are the details that can change a game. At the end of the day, those details they can turn. You know, like the first goal is a deflection from the wall. So those are the details. You know, at that level that can make for a result at the end. So we could have won the game. They could have won the game as well. They had some opportunities. So again, we faced a team that was well organized and that gave us some problem tonight. And I think we have another good learning lesson on the road. So it's a positive in the end. We didn't lose. We keep going with that, and that's what we can look back at.
Justin.
Okay, it seemed like Tolan on the left side was a little bit isolated in the wing. Was that kind of the issue? Is just SKC was a little bit too compact to allow that switch and just a little bit too predictable in the attack?
Well, I don't think so. I think there was a lot of space in the middle that we didn't do a good job at exploiting. I think we lacked a little bit of connection with our two pivots to come and occupy the space. With Simon, that should have came like maybe a little bit more, or when he came, like should have held up the ball a little bit more. So I think it was like more of a general like execution and recognition of those moments where like there was space to play, and when we were moving all together and running at the same time, I think we were able to find those spaces. There were some great moments, but then we were ending up like attacking too quick. So I think it's that combination. Once we broke that first line, like can we understand like is the game on to attack quickly, or do we need to get settled a little bit higher up and then prepare a little bit more? So I think for me that's what was lacking tonight. That recognition of those moments like all together.
And then it seemed like when Carlo Jose came on and when Matan came on, that Sangbin going to the middle like did start to create some like more attacking moments. Like did you see that when those two came on, that switch happened? Like did you like what you saw at that point?
Yeah, but I still think we lack control. I wish we would have had like more moments of possession, more moments of control where we could have prepared those attacks a little bit better. I had the feeling we attacked a little bit too fast, like we were a little bit too vertical too soon. But they definitely brought some quality, like having Sangbin in the middle and having him play a little bit more as a false nine was an interesting look that we found like a couple of times. But the game was pretty transitional in the end, which didn't help us too much, like in the way we wanted to attack, nor in the way we wanted to defend.
And then Falud not in the lineup tonight. Is he doing okay? Is everything all right with him?
Yeah, he's fine.
Jeremy.
Coach, at times the game really wide open. Were you happy with the amount of structure you thought your team had in this one?
It's hard to speak. Like the structure offensively was there. Like I said, I think we lacked a little bit of connection, like within the group, of like the timing of the movements, the execution on the ball. I thought defensively we never really got into our shape because like we ended up like turning the ball over more so like in our half or in the middle third. So you really like don't get into like moments where you get set higher up, you can be aggressive, like you can be on the front foot because like the ball never gets there or not enough, you know. So I'd say the problem wasn't structural, it was more like the moments of the game, the dynamic, where we were losing the ball, like what we were doing with it. So again, there is a lot of fatigue like coming from the West Coast trip. We're all aware of that. We're not going to make it an excuse. It's definitely not the point. That gives a little bit of context. I still think as a group, these are games where we need to improve and we can do a lot better.
Was there any thought to making subs earlier in the game? I know the first half it seemed Kansas really had their foothold in that one. So was there any concern about that at half?
Yeah, it's very hard. Like in those games, it's very hard because you know you've got guys that are tired. So it's very hard to make move too soon, too early, because the risk increase to lose players like towards the end. So you're trying to monitor, you're trying to understand the game dynamic as well. Like it's 1-1. Like the momentum is not really for us. We make like 2 attacking sub first because we think like maybe we can regain a little bit of momentum, which we didn't really. And then like towards the end of the game you're thinking like how are we gonna manage like the rest of the game, like are we going all in, are we like finding like a good balance, are we identifying some key position where we need like maybe some fresh legs. Those are games because of their nature and because of the transition that are very difficult to manage in terms of the subs because like we played 3 days ago. So yeah, I'd say we could have made subs like earlier. But with like a greater risk of like maybe having some guys like not able to finish the game and not having subs like at our disposal.
We'll go to Tom, then finish with Rockio.
You know, is there kind of an inherent risk? I mean, you bring back the same 11 starters as against San Jose, guys that played great, and there's an ample reason to bring them back, but the risk just of having 11 guys who all just played 3 days ago or 4 days ago?
Yeah, it's always a risk. It's always a risk. At the same time, we had only 1 game, so I think playing 2 games is definitely different than playing on the 3rd game. Yeah, you can look back and think like maybe like could we have made like some changes to get some fresh legs. It's like one question that we're gonna have to answer as a staff. At the same time, I thought the group like did really well in San Jose, and you also wanna build on that confidence. So like again, that's the decision making that goes into those games. Like the guys like worked really hard again tonight. That's definitely like a big positive. Like the mindset of the group, like going through those 90 minutes and fighting for each other, like is something that is a big part of our identity, and I'm proud of tonight despite the result.
Thank you.
We'll finish with Rockio.
You know, in previous matchups, when teams have had a strong player over on that left wing and funneled a lot of play through him, you've gone with Hazy either at that right center back spot or even with the right wing before he got injured in that matchup. Why not go to a matchup that maybe takes away more of that Harris play they like to get to on the left side?
Because I think Lucas has done a great job. So like Lucas has been good. Like he's had some good players playing on his side, like in the previous weeks as well. So at the end of the day, as he's coming back from injury, we have to make sure like his fitness level is good. It's a week with like 3 games, so there was also a little bit of an understanding of like how can we use him last Saturday, on Wednesday, and also potentially on Saturday. So you're trying to make those decisions like the best you can with the information we've got. And to be honest, Lucas has done like a great job all season, like dealing with some good, if not better, player than tonight. So I wasn't too concerned with that.
Roman, you've been here since the start. What makes it so tough to win games in Kansas City?
I think ourselves, like definitely not them, because we just didn't play well enough. I don't know why. We had a lot of like, sloppy moments with the ball, easy mistakes. With the ball, we defended pretty well, but because we lost the ball way too early, we couldn't really press them, and it was just overall not a good performance from us.
Just a big surprise, considering how well you played on Saturday and how well, in general, you guys have played of late?
No, not surprised, because these things happen. You know, like this is we are not robots. We just came back from a travel from West Side, and we had maybe 2 days to do a little bit of something. But obviously, that is it's not easy if you play weekend, midweek, and then weekend again, and 2 times away. These are all factors that come into play, and I think today it just was a little bit like too flat from us, not enough energy, and maybe that's why. But it's not surprising because these things happen.
In the grand scheme of things, I mean, getting a point on the road is generally a good thing, and considering the travel, you can look at this in some ways as a good result.
Yeah, I mean, we are still like, I think 11 games unbeaten still, so it's definitely a good record, you know, and so we take the point away, even though we would obviously, our ambition is to win this game and get 3 points, but like I said, we are not robots. We tried our best today, but we didn't play our best game.
Justin.
No, I know sometimes you get a better look at how the movement is going out there. It seemed like at times in the first half, specifically, like Timo was a little bit frustrated that there wasn't enough movement on the ball, like when he was on the ball. Were you seeing some of that? Does that maybe speak to some of the just energy in the attack?
Yeah, that's basically what I mean. Like we didn't have enough movement. Overall, the energy, like obviously we saw like we put in work again. You know, like it's not that we are not working hard. It's just like the small details. Maybe were not on point. Movement. It was not enough movement when we had the ball. That's why we lost the balls way too early then, because we were not in the good positions, and yeah.
Thanks, man.
Rockio.
Rowan, you mentioned the ineffectiveness of the press tonight. Just what was it that Kansas City was doing to keep the press away from really ever kind of affecting them?
Yeah, that's the thing. They didn't really do much. We just lost the ball way too early before we can. As soon as we got into the final third, like in front of their box, we immediately tried to pass the ball between 2 guys and lost it before we are like even set to continue the attack. So for us, it's always important to, when we have the ball, put the ball in the final third, and then if we don't see a clear chance, keep the ball there and play the ball back from left to right and try to move them a little bit. And we didn't do that today, so that's why maybe our back line and the guys in front of the back line, we didn't even have the chance to really get into position and stand high. So that has nothing to do, I would say, with Kansas. That was our mistake.
We'll finish here with Tom.
Realize this game has just ended, but the next game comes quick. You've got Houston coming up. How big a test is that, the best team in the Western Conference on Saturday?
Yeah, we're excited that we play at home in front of our fans, and obviously we need to play better than today when we want to if we want to win this game.